AQA Religious Studies Elderly and Deaf Revision Notes. Feel free to pause the video and make notes. I would advise that you download this video as an MP3 file and listen to it whenever you can. Make sure you understand what is being said. This is the most important thing. Problems faced by elderly people. They rely on pensions. They are really slow. They are more fragile. They are scared to leave the house. They get lonely. And they are always ill. Types of euthanasia. Active is when a doctor ends a patient's life with a legal injection. Passive is when a doctor withholds the life of a patient. Voluntary is when the patient decides to die. Non-voluntary is when the decision is made by doctors or relatives. Hospices. Relieve pain. Help patients face up to the forthcoming death. Care for the mental and emotional needs of relatives and friends. Keywords. Ageism, prejudice and discrimination against the elderly. Death, the end of life, which is normally when the brain stops functioning. Euthanasia, from the Greek meaning good death, including a painless death by agreement with compassion. Heaven, a state of being with God after death. Hell, a state of being without God after death. Hospice, a special place to which people go to die with dignity. Life support machine, a machine that keeps people alive when they would otherwise die. Rebirth, continuing life in another form. Mourning, a period of time which signs of grief are shown. Reincarnation, being born again in another form. Purgatory, a time of spiritual cleansing and preparation for heaven. Religious views on after death. Reincarnation. Hinduism, Sikhism and Buddhism believe in reincarnation, in which life begins again in another body. Hindus and Sikhs believe in the soul, which is placed into the next body. Buddhists do not believe in the soul. It is a force fashioned by karma. Hindus and Sikhs believe in samsara, the cycle of birth and death. Breaking out of this cycle is called moksha, in which the soul merges with God. Resurrection. Judaism, Christianity and Islam believe in heaven with God and hell with the devil. Muslims have a state of waiting before entering heaven, which is called barzakh. Catholics also believe in the state of waiting, which is called purgatory. Jews believe in immediate entry to the world after. Religious views on the elderly. Christians. Exodus chapter 20 verse 12. Honor your father and mother. Leviticus chapter 19 verse 32. You shall stand before the grey head and honor the face of an old man, and you shall fear your God. I am the Lord. Matthew chapter 22. Love one another as I have loved you. Islam. They believe that you should look after your elders because they are the most important. Religious views on euthanasia. No religion officially supports euthanasia. Buddhism. Taking life creates bad karma, breaking the first moral precept, which is I shall not harm any living thing. Hinduism believes suffering is a result of bad karma from previous life. Sikhism believe only God can give and take life. Christianity usually disagrees in euthanasia and prefers to trust in God's mercy. Exodus chapter 20 says, you shall not murder. Islam. Only Allah can take life. However, passive euthanasia may be seen as compassionate. Judaism. Life is God-given and a blessing and should not be taken away. And that's why. So this is the last video on religious studies. and I hope all these videos helped, and good luck with your exam.